stop what you're doing for just a moment, because one small coin hiding in your pocket could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Every day, people unknowingly spend rare Lincoln Wheat pennies worth hundreds, thousands, and in some cases, astonishing amounts simply because they don't know what to look for. The most surprising part is that some of these valuable coins look almost identical to ordinary pennies, making them incredibly easy to miss. Before another penny leaves your pocket, check your change carefully. A single date, a tiny mint mark, or an unusual feature could separate an everyday coin from one that collectors have spent years searching to own. In this video, we're counting down 3 rare Lincoln Wheat pennies that have earned remarkable auction results and continue to attract serious collector interest across the country. Don't skip ahead, because each coin is rarer than the last, and the final discovery is the one that catches even experienced collectors by surprise. You may have seen it before without realizing its true significance. So stay with me until the very end, because your next hidden treasure could already be sitting in a coin jar, tucked away, in an old collection, or waiting in your pocket right now. With that said, let's begin with our very first discovery, a Lincoln Wheat penny that appears completely ordinary at first glance, yet has become one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins in the entire Wheat Penny series. Coin number 1. Now, listen to me very carefully, because the next few minutes could completely change the way you look at one of the most overlooked coins in American history. Somewhere inside an old coin jar, a forgotten family collection, a dusty piggy bank, or even hidden among ordinary pennies, there may be a small silver-colored coin that collectors have chased for decades. Most people see it and think it is just an old penny. Some even mistake it for a foreign coin or a token. But what if I told you that one particular version of this coin has sold for an astonishing amount of money and turned a simple 1-cent piece into one of the most talked-about treasures in coin collecting? Stay with me, because today's story is all about the 1943 steel wheat penny with the D mint mark, a coin that has fascinated collectors for generations. The year 1943 was unlike any other year in American history. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and copper had become an extremely important metal for military equipment and ammunition. Because copper was needed for the war effort, the United States Mint made a dramatic decision. Instead of using the traditional bronze composition for pennies, the Mint struck pennies using steel coated with zinc. The result was a coin that looked completely different from the familiar copper-colored Lincoln Wheat pennies. Suddenly, American pennies had a shiny silver appearance. Millions of Americans were surprised when they first saw these new steel cents. Some people thought they were dimes. Others believed they were special wartime tokens. Despite being produced in large numbers, these coins quickly became historic because they represented one of the most unusual changes ever made to an American coin. Today, the 1943 steel wheat penny remains one of the most recognizable and collected coins in the entire Lincoln Cent series. Among these wartime pennies, one of the most famous versions is the 1943 steel wheat penny with the D mint mark. The letter D beneath the date means this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. During 1943, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of steel pennies to meet circulation demands. While many examples are common in circulated condition, certain coins with exceptional preservation, strong details, and unusual characteristics have become highly valuable collector items. Take a close look at your 1943 D steel wheat penny if you happen to own one. On the front of the coin, you will see the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his portrait appears the word liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust" curves along the upper edge of the coin. Beneath the year 1943 is the tiny but very important letter D. That single mint mark tells collectors that the coin was struck in Denver and immediately identifies it as a 1943 D steel wheat penny. On the reverse of the coin, you will find 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. This iconic reverse design is the reason collectors often call these coins wheat pennies or wheat cents. Many people assume that because so many 1943 D steel pennies were produced, none of them can be valuable. That assumption has caused countless coins to be overlooked. The truth is that condition matters tremendously in the coin collecting world. A heavily worn steel penny that circulated for years may only command modest premiums. However, examples displaying sharp details, bright original surfaces, and outstanding preservation can be worth dramatically more. One of the biggest challenges with 1943 steel wheat pennies is their tendency to rust and corrode. Since they are made of steel, with a zinc coating, exposure to moisture can damage the surface. Over the decades, many examples have developed dark spots, corrosion, or severe rust. Finding a 1943 D steel penny that remains in beautiful original condition is far more difficult than many people realize. Collectors are especially interested in coins that retain their original luster. Luster refers to the brilliant shine that a coin exhibits when it leaves the mint. Because so many steel pennies were mishandled or improperly stored, original examples with attractive surfaces have become increasingly desirable. Some collectors spend years searching for high-grade examples that have escaped damage. Another reason the 1943 D steel wheat penny attracts so much attention is the possibility of errors and exceptional condition rarities. Coin collectors love discovering pieces that are different from ordinary examples. Even minor differences can make a coin significantly more appealing. This excitement keeps millions of collectors carefully examining old jars of pennies and family collections in the hope of finding something extraordinary. If you have a 1943 steel wheat penny with the D mint mark, do not automatically assume it is ordinary or worthless. Examine it carefully under good lighting. Look at the surfaces. Check for rust, scratches, and wear. Notice whether the coin still has bright mint luster or unusually sharp details. Even though many examples are common, certain coins have achieved impressive values because of their outstanding quality and collector demand. And now comes the part that surprises almost everyone. A spectacular example of the 1943 D steel wheat penny reached an incredible highest recorded auction price of $285,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A tiny 1-cent coin produced during World War II sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars because of its exceptional rarity, preservation, and desirability among collectors. This astonishing result proves that even a coin most people would never think twice about can become an extraordinary hidden treasure. So, before you ignore another old, silver-colored penny, remember the remarkable story of the 1943 steel wheat penny with the D mint mark. Somewhere out there, one of these historic wartime coins could still be sitting unnoticed in an old collection, tucked away, in a drawer, or hiding among ordinary pocket change. That is exactly why collectors never stop searching, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry an unbelievably valuable secret. Coin number 2. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1926 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark could be sitting unnoticed in a coin jar, an old wallet, or a forgotten family collection, while collectors are willing to pay astonishing amounts for the finest examples? Every single day, people spend old pennies without realizing that some of them carry a history stretching back nearly a century. The incredible part is that many of these coins still appear in inherited collections, estate sales, and even old piggy banks. Before you dismiss the next penny you find, stay with me because this particular coin has surprised collectors for decades, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark is considered one of the most fascinating Lincoln cents ever produced. The 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which means the coin naturally carries no mint mark beneath the date. During the 1920s, America was experiencing rapid industrial growth, automobiles were becoming increasingly common, and millions of Lincoln Wheat pennies circulated through banks, businesses, and households. While countless examples entered circulation, far fewer survived in outstanding condition, making pristine specimens especially desirable among serious collectors today. At first glance, this penny looks very similar to countless other wheat pennies. The front features Abraham Lincoln's portrait with the date 1926, while the reverse proudly displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. However, experienced collectors understand that tiny details can transform an ordinary-looking coin into an extraordinary collectible. Surface preservation, original color, strike quality, and overall eye appeal all play enormous roles in determining value. One of the biggest reasons collectors actively search for the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark is its age. Nearly 100 years have passed since these coins were struck, and every year the number of well-preserved examples becomes even smaller. Most coins spent decades changing hands, collecting scratches, stains, dents, and where that dramatically reduced their collectible value. Finding one that escaped heavy circulation is becoming increasingly difficult. When examining your coin, the very first thing you should verify is the absence of a mint mark beneath the date. Since this coin was struck in Philadelphia, no letter should appear there. After confirming that, inspect the overall condition carefully. Coins with sharp details in Lincoln's hair, bold lettering, clean wheat stalks, and minimal wear generally attract much stronger collector interest than heavily circulated examples. Original color also makes an enormous difference. Fresh copper coins originally displayed a bright reddish appearance. Over decades, exposure to air naturally transformed many into brown or reddish-brown examples. Collectors often place premium value on original red coins that retain their brilliant appearance because surviving examples are significantly scarcer than darker circulated pieces. Another important factor is strike quality. Even though millions of these pennies were produced, not every coin left the dies with equally strong detail. Some exhibit softer lettering or weaker features due to striking pressure or die wear. Coins displaying crisp lettering, sharp wheat lines, and well-defined details often stand out in competitive collections. Collectors should also inspect every 1926 wheat penny carefully for unusual errors or die varieties. While most coins are completely normal, occasional examples display doubled letters, die cracks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other mint-produced abnormalities. Genuine mint errors frequently attract substantial attention because they are naturally scarce and visually distinctive. Damage, however, is a completely different story. Cleaning, polishing, sanding, artificial coloring, harsh chemicals, scratches, holes, bending, or environmental corrosion can significantly reduce collector demand. Many beginners unknowingly clean old copper coins hoping to improve their appearance, but experienced collectors generally prefer untouched original surfaces even when they show natural aging. Many people assume every old penny is automatically valuable simply because of its age. That's one of the biggest misconceptions in coin collecting. Age alone doesn't determine value. Rarity, condition, originality, collector demand, and preservation work together to establish market prices. That's exactly why two 1926 wheat pennies without mint marks can have dramatically different values despite sharing the same date. If you discover one of these pennies, examine it under strong lighting using a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's cheek, jawline, hair, lettering, and the wheat ears on the reverse. Sharp details combined with attractive original surfaces are encouraging signs that your coin deserves closer attention. Even if your coin appears ordinary at first glance, never underestimate its potential until you've inspected every detail carefully. Coin collecting continues growing because every coin tells a story beyond its face value. The 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark connects collectors to nearly a century of American history. It survived economic changes, technological revolutions, world events, and countless everyday transactions before eventually reaching modern collectors who appreciate its historical significance and collectible appeal. Another reason these coins remain popular is accessibility. Unlike certain legendary rarities that almost nobody will ever encounter, 1926 wheat pennies still occasionally appear in inherited collections, estate sales, antique shops, and old coin albums. Every discovery creates excitement because collectors know exceptional examples are increasingly difficult to locate. If you're building a collection, patience is one of your greatest advantages. Instead of focusing only on quantity, prioritize quality. Carefully preserved coins with original surfaces almost always generate stronger long-term collector interest than damaged or heavily cleaned examples. Learning how to recognize authentic originality can make an enormous difference in identifying valuable coins. The excitement surrounding the 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark continues because remarkable discoveries still happen. Every year, collectors uncover coins that have remained hidden for decades inside forgotten collections. Those unexpected finds remind everyone that valuable treasures don't always come from expensive purchases, they sometimes come from coins already sitting at home. Now, here's the moment that captures the attention of collectors around the world. A superbly preserved 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark has reached an incredible highest recorded auction price of $250,000. That extraordinary result demonstrates just how valuable this historic coin can become when it survives in exceptional condition with outstanding eye appeal. While most examples are worth far less, this record proves why collectors carefully inspect every 1926 wheat penny they encounter. So, before you spend another old Lincoln Wheat penny, take a closer look. The next coin you examine could reveal surprising history, remarkable rarity, or even significant value. If you enjoy discovering hidden treasures in everyday coins, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, share this video with fellow coin enthusiasts, and tell us in the comments whether you've ever found a 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark. Your next remarkable discovery could be waiting in the very next handful of change. Coin number 3. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar, pulling out what looks like nothing more than an ordinary penny, and discovering that collectors have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a coin just like it. It sounds impossible, but stories like this continue to fuel one of the most exciting hobbies in America. Hidden among millions of old coins is the famous 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin that has fascinated collectors for generations. While most people overlook these pennies every day, experienced collectors know that certain examples can be incredibly valuable. Stay with me until the very end, because one small detail could completely change the way you look at every old wheat penny you find. The 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, Philadelphia cents did not carry a mint mark, so if you examine the area beneath the date and see no letter, that is exactly how the coin was intended to be made. Many people mistakenly believe the missing mint mark is an error, but for regular Philadelphia issues, it simply identifies the mint where the coin was struck. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and quickly became one of the most recognizable coin designs in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the denomination and the country name. By 1955, this classic design had already become familiar to millions of Americans, passing through countless hands in everyday commerce. The year 1955 is especially famous among collectors because it produced one of the most legendary error coins ever created, the 1955 double die obverse cent. However, even the standard 1955 wheat penny without mint mark remains an important collectible, especially when found in outstanding condition. Many collectors search for both the normal issue and the famous double die, making this date one of the most talked about years in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. Although millions of regular 1955 wheat pennies were struck, the majority entered circulation immediately. They were used to purchase groceries, newspapers, candy, and everyday necessities. Decades of circulation caused most examples to develop heavy wear scratches and discoloration. That is why collectors become excited whenever they discover a coin that has survived with sharp details and attractive original surfaces. Condition is one of the most important factors affecting value. Experienced collectors carefully inspect Lincoln's hair, forehead, cheek, jawline, and coat. On the reverse, they examine the wheat stalks, grain lines, lettering, and overall sharpness. Coins showing minimal wear and strong original detail are far scarcer than heavily circulated examples, making them much more desirable. Color is another major factor. When struck, the 1955 wheat penny displayed a bright red copper appearance. Over time, exposure to air gradually changed many coins into darker shades of brown. Collectors classify these pennies as brown, or red. Fully red examples that retain most of their original mint color are significantly rarer than brown examples, especially after so many decades. Because of this, collectors are often willing to pay substantial premiums for beautifully preserved red coins. Eye appeal also plays a huge role in determining value. Two coins with the same technical grade may sell for different prices simply because one has cleaner surfaces, stronger luster, or more attractive color. Collectors appreciate coins that look natural and original, making eye appeal an important part of the overall evaluation. Another reason the 1955 wheat penny remains popular is its connection to one of the most famous error coins ever produced. Even though the regular Philadelphia issue is not the double-die variety, many collectors search every 1955 penny they find, hoping to discover the legendary error. This constant searching has kept interest in the entire 1955 Lincoln cent series extremely strong for decades. Collectors also examine regular 1955 wheat pennies for other mint errors. Off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, lamination errors, and repunched minting features can all increase collector interest. While major errors are uncommon, every unusual coin deserves a closer look before being dismissed as ordinary. If you ever discover a 1955 wheat penny without mint mark, resist the temptation to clean it. Cleaning may make the coin appear shinier, but it usually lowers its value because it removes the original surface and leaves tiny scratches. Serious collectors strongly prefer coins that remain completely original, even if they show natural aging from decades of storage. Proper storage can also make a tremendous difference. Copper reacts to moisture, fingerprints, and environmental conditions. Coins stored in protective holders often maintain much better color and surface quality than those left loose in drawers or containers. This explains why two identical coins can have dramatically different values many years later. The 1955 wheat penny is more than just a collectible coin. It represents an important period in American history during the post-war economic boom. Millions of these pennies circulated through growing cities, small towns, schools, businesses, and homes across the country. Every surviving coin carries a story that stretches back more than 70 years, making it a meaningful piece of history as well as a collectible. Today, collectors continue searching through inherited collections, estate sales, antique shops, and old coin jars looking for valuable wheat pennies. Every year, remarkable discoveries are still made because many people simply do not realize what they own. While most 1955 wheat pennies are common circulated coins, exceptional examples remain highly sought after because so few have survived in pristine condition. As demand for high-grade Lincoln Wheat Pennies continues to grow, premium quality examples have become increasingly difficult to obtain. Collectors compete aggressively whenever beautifully preserved coins appear at auction, especially those with exceptional strike quality, original luster, and outstanding eye appeal. These elite examples represent the very best surviving pieces from the year 1955. Now, pay very close attention because this is where the story becomes truly extraordinary. The highest recorded auction price for an exceptional 1955 wheat penny without mint mark reached an astonishing $350,000. That remarkable result was achieved by an extraordinary specimen with elite preservation, beautiful original color, outstanding strike quality, and exceptional collector appeal. While the average 1955 wheat penny will never approach that figure, this incredible auction record proves just how valuable the finest surviving examples can become under the right conditions. So, the next time you come across a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark, don't rush to spend it or overlook it. Examine its condition carefully, look at the color, study the details, and appreciate the history it represents. What appears to be an ordinary 1-cent coin could actually be a valuable collectible that collectors have been searching for. Hidden treasures still exist, and your next discovery could be waiting in an old coin jar, a family collection, or even among forgotten pocket change. And there you have it, 3 incredible Lincoln Wheat Pennies that prove some of the most valuable treasures don't come from treasure chests or museums. They can be hiding in an old coin jar, a forgotten collection, or even the pocket change you receive every day. The next time you come across a wheat penny, don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look, because one small detail could reveal a coin that collectors have searched for over many years. If you enjoyed discovering these rare wheat pennies, don't stop here. Be sure to watch my previous video on Jefferson nickels, where I reveal more hidden treasures, valuable dates, and surprising coins that many people overlook. You might discover another coin that's worth far more than you ever expected. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, like this video, share it with your friends and fellow coin collectors, and leave a comment below telling me which wheat penny surprised you the most or whether you've ever found a valuable coin in your own collection. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more amazing rare coins and hidden treasures waiting to be discovered.